I'm tired every second of every day. But I don't give a fuck because I know where I'm going. I know the destination. And I have this feeling that it's already accomplished.
What's going on YouTube? It's about 6:20 a.m. Just finished 20 minutes of Stairmaster, 10 minutes of meditation, starting off the day right. I'm gonna take you guys through just the whole day, what it usually looks like, the type of shit that I have going on a daily basis, how I handle business work, content creation, my nutrition. Record as much as I can for you guys. That way you just get to know me. You know, there's something about being alone in the mornings after doing a couple of hard shit. You just start reflecting on where you've been, everything you've been through, everything you're gonna go through, the future, where you're gonna go. I think the morning as just a reflection period. At times there's just a lot of chaos in the world. So having a couple hours in the morning where it feels like you're the only one in the world, it's nice. You get to look up, the stars are there. It's beautiful. So why the morning routine? Like why exactly do I do this? I've always been lazy, procrastinator throughout all my youth. In school, when I got to college, dropped out of college. And after I dropped out of college in like 2019, 2020, I spent about 2 years, it wasn't that much, but about a year without a job as a 21 year old. Unfucking heard of. Or at least not unheard of, but you could imagine I wasn't on the best trajectory. And it was just like bullshit job to bullshit job. I worked as a server, then I got a job at Aldi. I was just lost in life. It wasn't until I started working at Crunch where I was forced to get up early because I had clients at 5 a.m. But Crunch was about an hour away from where I lived. So it was a drive. So if I had a client at 5, I had to get up at 3:30. That's kind of where my personal development journey started. Being forced to wake up that early. That's when I had moved from Miami to Lehigh. I was basically alone, which was probably the best thing to ever happen to me. If you want to change fast, change your environment. Especially if you go to an environment where all you're really left seeking is getting to know yourself, because there's nothing going on. You know, Lehigh doesn't have anything. Their main attraction is a Walmart. So when all you do is go home, work, it kind of leaves you no other option but to go within. Being forced to wake up early, you know, I was like, shit, I might as well start doing some journaling in the morning. I was getting into like the Chris Williamsons, the Alex Ramoses, the Justin Wallers of the world. A lot of things really started moving in the right direction, and I started discovering things about myself. And what I found out is that waking up early, doing hard things, kind of forces me to immediately get out of my comfort zone. And for me, it's always been just like that first initial step where I stutter the most. Once I take that step, or I realize, oh shit, it's not that bad, and I'm able to just continue on with the tasks. Like the law of inertia, right? An object at rest is gonna stay at rest. An object in motion is gonna stay in motion. And that's how, like, it felt like I was trying to move a boulder every time I I'd try to be productive in the day. You know, I'd have a whole, I've had things to do, but it'd just be constant procrastination. So what the morning routine allows me to do is start with the physical, which the physical I've always been good at. So I leveraged that into, okay, start doing something hard physically in the morning so it could set you up and give me that confidence mentally to then get productive work done. So like the morning cardios, the cold showers in the morning, the meditation, all these are challenging, you know? Like a meditation doesn't sound challenging, but when the purpose of the meditation is to be focused on one specific subject, like for example, when I meditate, all I focus on is my breath, or I try to. The sensation of air inhaling and exhaling through my nostrils, feeling that takes a level of concentration, which is why meditation builds focus and attention, because the whole purpose of it is to focus on your breath and to not let any other thoughts take you away from your focus on the breath. The second you catch yourself thinking about whatever it is, bring it back to the breath. And you'll realize, man, it's very difficult in the beginning. You don't realize how much noise there goes on in your mind when you sit with yourself for 5-10 minutes. And there's people that do meditation for hours. So I can't even imagine that. One day I'll build myself up to that level of consciousness and attention. But yeah, once I get up, do a couple of hard tasks, it really just opens my mind. It clears all the doubt, because I'm a person that I doubt myself a lot, and I've been doubted plenty of times by my parents, previous friends. Like I've felt like I've constantly been doubted throughout my life. So every day I have to wake up and prove to myself that I am the man I claim to be, which is why the morning routine works for me. I need proof every single morning that I am who I say I am. And it just comes down to that. And it's also like I understand that going through the hard shit eventually is gonna pay off. It's gonna build my character. It's gonna give me more confidence. It's gonna build my pain tolerance. It's gonna build my attention. It's gonna build my mental fortitude. And all these things start compounding little by little, which lead to just flawless execution and success in every area of your life, because it's just the way you are. It's just the way you carry yourself. You know, you exceed excellence. You look for the struggle. You find the lessons in the failures, and this is all just coming from a morning routine. Like that is what I've learned. Like without a morning routine, when I don't do the hard shit in the morning, I don't get anything done during the day. I simply don't. I can't just wake up and start doing hours of work. That doesn't work for me, at least not yet. I haven't built that level of focus and just sheer will, if you want to call it, to just wake up, sit down at a desk, and just go to work. No, I have to prove to myself. I have to physically exert myself first to almost earn the fact that I'm able to just sit down and focus. I have to earn that. Beautiful morning. Let's go take a cold shower, get ready, and head to Starbucks to start our first block of work. Oh. And we are off, my people. It's a beautiful morning. Oof. This is what we're currently driving. I get the Mr. Incredible comparisons all the time, so the joke's sold. You don't have to mention it. The car we will be driving will be a Rolls-Royce Spectre. Ugh. So you could stay tuned for that. Alrighty. We just got to Starbucks. Time to put in a couple hours of work. I have to edit the YouTube video prior to this one, which is my nutritional breakdown. What else do I gotta get done? Shit. I don't know. I have it there written down. It's on my to-do list. But it's a beautiful morning. Beautiful day. It's crazy that there are so many people around me right now, and none of these motherfuckers know that I've been up for 2 hours already. Way ahead of them. You know, Starbucks lighting is fucking crazy. Wait. Ooh, now we're talking. Starbucks lighting, fucking crazy. How we looking? We're looking all right. Nothing too crazy. I go late. All right, so we just wrapped up, kind of lost track of time. It's almost like 1 p.m. We were there from 7:30 to 1. That was the first block of work. Now, go home, eat, probably go for a little walk, just relax, and then get to our second block. I got a couple of programming and got to set up the school community for just the boys. Let's do it. All right, chefing up meal one right now. And for those of you who are new to the channel, just new to me in general, I usually fast throughout the whole morning until I finish my first couple hours of work. Ends up being about 11, 12. Today it took me a little longer just because I had a little more work to do in the morning. So it's like 1 p.m. right now. And now we're smashing meal one. Meal one is only proteins and fats. So usually I'll do 4 eggs, about 4 to 5 ounces of lean ground beef. Right now I'm cooking up 96.4. I'll cook that with some grass-fed butter, peppers, onions, spinach, tomatoes, and then I'll do a whole avocado just to top it off. That's what I've been doing for about 2 weeks now. And I've been feeling fucking phenomenal on it. Because what I kept encountering was that if I have carbs for breakfast or for meal one, whenever that is, I just get like this brain fog, lethargic feel that I want to take a nap. And boys, we're trying to conquer the world. We're trying to inspire, make millions. And we can't be fucking taking naps in the middle of the day. There's too much to get done. We'll sleep when we're in a fucking penthouse. There's about like 70 grams of protein in this meal one. This is something new for me. I've always been attached to carbs. Besides like that 1 to 2 weeks of prep where I had to do low carb or no carb diet. But besides that, I'm a carb fiend. But kind of correlates because I've never been good with productivity or just being able to focus. So now with all the habits that I'm implementing, plus this change in nutrition where I'm only eating carbs within my workout window. And it's been making a crazy difference. Not that I came up with it, I've heard of this type of style before, but the way I'm using it is to optimize both productivity in regards to my business and hypertrophy in regards to training and bodybuilding. Because you kind of only need carbs when you're going to do some physical activity. So if I could just maximize that anabolic window, the pre, intra, and post-workout time periods, that's when I smash carbs, and I'll get like 300 to 400 grams of carbs in just those little 3 hits. Clean up after yourself, men. We tend to be messy motherfuckers. Remember, if you have a clustered space, that's a clustered mind. You want to make sure everything is nice, organized. That way you function as efficiently as possible. If I'm rocking with right now, it's good. Crazy macros, 24 grams of protein, 4.5 grams of fat, only 140 calories per 4 ounces. And as I continue experimenting with this little nutrition system that I have going on, I'll keep you guys informed on a fat to protein ratio and all that jazz. 2 grams of avocado. But that's been my philosophy. I want to be a man that is able to take care of everything. I know how to cook. I know how to clean. I'm just a fucking Renaissance man, bro. Jack of all trades, master of none. I think that's bullshit. You can't master everything at once, but in life you go through seasons of dedicated time periods which you could allocate to certain areas of mastery. You know, go a period of your life where you only focus on training and learn everything there is to know about that, or as much as you can. And I did that for the past 5 to 6 years. So I kind of have a good grasp on how to train, how to eat, how to recover, pharmacology, drugs. I have a good understanding of that. So now that I have put in the time to quote unquote master it, now I'm able to take on something a little bigger, like business. And since I've already mastered the physical, I'm able to maintain it that much easier because I know how to get the most return on my investment, putting in minimal effort. And not to say that I put in minimal effort, because I definitely track my calories, I train intensely, everything is tracked, my log, my workout logs, I have my Whoop for recovery purposes. Everything is meticulous, but it's more of the mental energy that you're putting into that subject, right? I don't have to put that much mental energy because I know exactly what to do every single day to maximize my physical outputs and just become a fucking great guy. All that energy that's left over, now I'm able to allocate it with business. A period in my life where I have dominated both areas, and then it's time to add in a third one. Based off how it's going over the past 6 months, again, I don't think, even in school, I never finished any book, ever. And over the past 6 months, I believe I've fully read about 3 to 4 books, which is huge for me. And now I have books all over the house. I love reading now, especially reading out loud. When you read out loud, it helps with articulation, speech, which is greatly beneficial for me since I do content creation and I'm always talking. And I will continue to talk. Maybe once I master the business aspect of things, we go into writing. Something I've been secretly passionate about is writing a book. But I'm not even going to start that endeavor until I feel like I've achieved plenty in my life, gone through a lot of turmoil and struggles. So that's going to be almost like a 10, 15, 20 year down the line plan. But in this life, you could definitely be a Renaissance man. And by Renaissance man, I mean just have every aspect dominated. You know? Be the type of man that's able to do anything. Be dangerous. One of my favorite quotes of all time is, a man should be able to slice a throat and hold a baby at the same time. And what that signifies to me is that man is extremely dangerous, but in complete control of his emotions. That's fucking powerful and extremely dangerous. Yeah, you could be dangerous in inflicting pain externally, but are you dangerous internally? Are you able to control yourself, control your impulses, control lust, and all these external traps, sort of say? You're dangerous enough to be so emotionally controlled and so confident within yourself that you express vulnerability. And that's a huge misconception nowadays, because there's this almost toxic masculinity telling you that men aren't supposed to express their emotions. They're supposed to be stoic and stone cold all the time. I don't agree with that. I do believe there's a level of emotional control, especially in certain situations, but there are other situations where vulnerability and expressing those emotions are vital to relationships, to success, and to authenticity. Pills ready. The meal. Something that I like doing in the mornings, well, before meal one, is checking my blood glucose. Because if our blood glucose is elevated, usually above 100, that means we are slowly transitioning from insulin sensitivity to insulin resistance. And if we are insulin resistance, or nutrient partitioning, and the way we just allocate fats, carbs, proteins isn't very efficient, so we start holding more body fat instead of our body actually processing those carbohydrates and using it as fuel instead of converting them to fat cells. We want to make sure we're in range. And again, with this new nutrition, it actually optimizes insulin sensitivity, because insulin only spikes when you ingest carbohydrates. And we're only doing that for our workout. And we're using them immediately because it's our workout window. So we're only using carbs when our body actually needs them. Damn, it's actually elevated. 111. Maybe an outlier. It's usually in like the mid to low 90s this time of day. Come back tomorrow, check it. If it's still elevated, there's something we gotta switch up. All right, so we wrapped up meal one. It's about 2-ish. Let me close this door. We're in the office right now. If you guys are watching a few years in the future, this is where it all started. This office right here. It's where I made my first online sale. Was on this chair right here. I'm sure we'll be in some fucking high-rise office decked out. We got a whole fucking team. Yeah, I see it. It's done already. But we're gonna get it to work. Like I said earlier, I'm building a school community for all my clients just to make my product better. I'm gonna have a whole bunch of modules and courses. That way they could follow along. And it makes my job a little easier because I only have to explain the subject once and everybody could just refer to those videos plus the one-on-one calls. So I really want to take my product to the next level and just fulfill as much as I can and try to deliver and just really change motherfuckers' lives. You know, that's what I'm about. Personal development has changed my life completely. So I want to do the same for others. It's tough. Let's get a little vulnerable. You know, every day we're waking up at 4:45. It's fucking tough, man. But there's this little cheat code that I learned from my mentor. If you want to force yourself to wake up, put your phone across the room, or I put mine in the bathroom. So when that alarm goes off, guess what? How are you gonna turn it off? Get up from your bed, walk to the bathroom, and shut it off. By the time I get to the bathroom, like, there's no way I'm getting back in bed. One, because I know that if I do, when I wake up a couple hours later, I'm gonna feel like total dog shit and a fraud. And two is, you know, like doing content creation, you hear it time and time again, it really is a cheat code with accountability, because if you post your whole life online and you said you were gonna do something, bro, like, if you're half the man you say you are, you better keep on posting. You better do the actions you're claiming to be doing on a daily basis. 5:20 a.m. post that I do every morning
on my walk to the gym, like that keeps me accountable because I know I have people watching. I have others depending on me. I have clients that use me for motivation. Even I get DMs randomly of, hey, did my cardio this morning. Like that just gives me such a level of fulfillment where it far exceeds just getting back into bed. Use it. Like, in order for you to wake your ass up every single day at 4:45 a.m., you gotta have emotional drivers. You gotta know your why. Like, if you don't know your fucking why, it's really hard. It's gonna be really hard for you to achieve your goals. That's how it was for me. Like, a couple years back, I had no sense of direction. I had moved from Miami to Lehigh Acres. If you don't know where that is, it's on the west coast of Florida. It's like a little agricultural town in the middle of fucking nowhere. And the nearest gym for me was like 30 minutes. So everything's a drive. I was so lost during that time period. And I had dropped out of college. I wasn't working. Like, I was doing real estate. They wanted me to go door to door knocking for sales. I said, fuck that shit. And I just became like a bum. And all I did was wait for my dad to get home at 4 or 5 p.m., get his car, drive to the gym, come back. And I did that for months and endlessly, like throughout the day, I'd just been consuming fitness content. Now, granted, it gave me a fuck ton of knowledge. It's probably when I learned the most about fitness because I was doing nothing else with my life. And I guess it's serving me now, looking back in retrospect. It's kind of funny how that works. But I felt lost, bro. Like, I didn't know like fitness was gonna be the direction I was gonna take for the rest of my life. And maybe it isn't, but at least it's really benefiting me right now. So where I was going with that is, like, during that time period, I was lost. Like, I had no sense of direction. I didn't know what my goals were. I had no routines established. Nothing. Fucking nothing, bro. The only reason I took a personal training job because my mom sat me down and was like, if you don't start producing, you're fucking 21, about to be 22. Like, imagine a 22-year-old just completely living off his parents. Like, that's what I was doing at 21, 22. Like that, like, my mentor's 21 now and he's a fucking millionaire. The amount of time I've felt like I've wasted. But again, it's all experience. Because now, being older, a little more mature, I'm able to implement things that much faster. To everybody has their own journey and their own way of climbing the mountain. But it was a very difficult time period for me because like, for the most part, I guess I've always been talented at things. Like, I'm a fast learner. So I took that for granted all throughout childhood. And on top of that, like, yeah, being talented and then being lazy and still getting validated for it throughout high school, because I was still, going to the parties and the girls and all this external motivators that don't fucking matter. Like, it's tough to break that cycle. Like, I get it. And the only reason I broke it was because I changed my environment. And changing your environment is such a powerful thing. Like, the fastest way to change your identity is change your environment completely. Like, new people, new setting, it'll change who you are by default. It was a very tough period for me because I knew I had so much potential. Like, I knew I was meant to do something big. I just didn't know what. And I didn't know what actions to take. But again, I wasn't taking any action to begin with. That was completely on me. It wasn't until I started at Crunch where I was forced to take on clients at 5 a.m. and living an hour away, I would have to get up at 3:30. So I was already up at 3:30. And then I started just consuming. It was an hour drive. So little by little, I started getting into podcasts, fell into the Andrew Tate, Justin Waller, Chris Williamson, Alex Hormozy, Modern Wisdom Train, and started learning about journaling, goal setting, habits, work ethic, business, and started falling in love with that process of just being a Renaissance man. Like I said earlier, like every single aspect of your life you could be successful in. Like, you could have the physique, you could have the wealth, you could be in a long-term relationship happily. You could do all those things. Like, it's possible. It's not a fucking fairy tale. Like, is it hard to execute? Fuck yeah. Like, I'm tired every second of every day. But I don't give a fuck because I know where I'm going. I know the destination. And I have this feeling that it's already accomplished. You know, like, I know I'm gonna get there. We're gonna get there, boys. We're gonna get there, family. Like, trust me, we will get there. We are there, bro. Like, fuck it. Like, we are there. But it doesn't take away the fact that every day is a fucking struggle. You know? Every day is hard. I'm no different than you. I just know my why. And my why is to change the world through personal development. Like, because I understand what it's like to feel lost. I was lost for a very long time. It wasn't until recently where I've had this love for personal development and helping others and actually providing society and the world value. It's just that it hasn't even been fucking 6 months that I've been truly been feeling fulfilled. But like I said, it's still hard to wake up. It's still hard to eat clean. It's still hard to go to the gym when I don't feel like it. But we can't go based off feel. If we go based off feel, like, we will never fucking move. You know? Because I never feel like doing none of this shit. Like, I don't feel like doing this shit. Like, do you think I'm gonna pull up my laptop and start working on course modules? Like, I kind of do. But wouldn't I rather? Like, no, I wouldn't rather be sitting on the couch. This is what I enjoy it now because I understand what I'm getting out of it. Again, it's just having the why, right? I just understand my why, and that keeps me going. So find your fucking why. Like, really, like, dissect your life. Write down your whole life story and figure out your motivators. What type of person do you want to become? Because you know what scared me, like, what made me take the jump and quit Crunch was looking at my managers, them being 30, 40 years old, still talking about the same shit. You know, still objectifying women every time they'd walk in the door. Just every time they were with a prospect or a client, it was always shit talking behind their back. Or, yeah, I closed a fucking sale I just made. Or, nah, I couldn't close it, she was broke. Nah, he's a pussy. Like, these are the type of shit these motherfuckers say behind your back. These trainers, these health experts. I couldn't stand another month doing that. Or being around it. I just couldn't. When the pain of staying the same is greater than the pain of change, then you will change.